All right, the NCAA tournament, the play-in games going on in Dayton, the big tournament starting on Thursday, and the Coach Wimp Sanderson is with us now to talk about it on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Coach, presented each week by the Rental Works division of Crane Works. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Doing good. Alabama will play the winner of the 8-10 game tonight, Rutgers and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, either game, Alabama will have an advantage because they have to play tonight, and then they fly very quickly to, not very quickly, but then they got to fly to San Diego. I talked with Avery Johnson last night. He's going to do the game, I think, and he's not going to get in until 2 o'clock on, I guess, Thursday or something. So I think Alabama gets a break on the first game. I don't know how much that counts, but I think it counts a great deal.
The way Alabama's playing right now, I mean, I don't know how you describe it. I mean, they're so inconsistent. They turn the basketball over. They can't shoot the three. Defense has not been good. And to blow a 14-point second-half lead against Vanderbilt, I know on the one side I hear Alabama fans say, well, hey, we're well-rested now. But at the same time, you want to have a little confidence coming out of that tournament, do you not?
Yeah, and I don't know the real answer to that. I think it's just how they are mentally. If they're still excited to play and they put that behind them and they put themselves forward on this Notre Dame Rutgers game, you don't know who you're going to play until the last minute, of course, and so it's hard to prepare for the team you don't know you're going to play. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But I don't know what they haven't played well. They've turned the ball over and they haven't made shots and various things that's hurt them a great deal. So I think it all goes back to whether you're ready to play mentally or not, whether you're excited to be in the NCAA or whether you're ready to close it out. So I don't have the answer to that.
You were in the tournament 6 times. Am I right about that?
10.
10. No, that was 6 Sweet 16s. My apologies.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. My apologies. No.
Yeah.
I said that wrong. You were in the tournament 10 times. How many do you remember a team where you went in and maybe you just didn't feel great about the way that team was playing and they surprised you a little bit, those first few games?
Not really.
Okay.
I really can't. I can't remember exactly. I thought we got a terrible – I wasn't sure we were ready to play. We played one time in Lincoln at Nebraska, at the University of Nebraska in the tournament. I didn't like the way we played then. Got beat. Forget who we got beat by. But, when you get to the 16, you ought to be excited. When your first games are games where you've got, prepare, and the mental part of it is so darn important. It's just, how, you take Auburn, for example. They're so great at home, and their last 9 games they're 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you wouldn't have thought that. They lose that, and I know they were disappointed in the SEC tournament, but when you have all that vinegar and, Viber or whatever you want to call it at home, and all of a sudden you go and it's a little quite different for you, I'm not sure that doesn't have an effect on you a little bit. So it's really hard to tell, who's going to play and who's not, and I'm just not smart enough to know.
I mean, it's got to be a concern, though, for Bruce Pearl, the way they have played away from Auburn Arena. I mean, that's got to be a concern right now, isn't it?
Well, they have lost on other people's floors
and neutral side now.
Tournament, yeah, they go to the tournament and get beat by an A&M team that plays them pretty well. So basketball is a game that you can't compare scores, and you can't figure things out sometimes because of the way they played the last game. You have to be careful about trying to decide how they played because the last game they were very poor. It's a complicated deal because of the way the defenses play. I a little bit thought that maybe that Kentucky would have beaten Tennessee had Sheway had stayed in the game, although Kentucky shot it very poorly. So foul trouble is also very big, and who's officiating the game is huge.
You mentioned Texas A&M there, and I don't know if you've seen the video from Buzz, and we're going to play a little bit of it in just a minute. Coming out of Selection Sunday, I thought the biggest snub by far was Texas A&M. I had a conversation with I brought it up, Greg from Pell City on Saturday, and he said, "Do you think they've got to win tomorrow to get in?" And I said, "Absolutely not. They've done enough. This team's on fire. They've won 7 consecutive games. The teams they've beaten, quality teams that are going to be in the tournament." Just put yourself in that situation. If you're Buzz, I mean, you've got to be furious.
Well, you are. You're upset about it. I think the biggest problem is, I don't know if it's a problem. LT, I believe I'm correct in saying to you that they lost 8 straight conference games.
They did.
And if you're a member of that committee and you could care less about whatever, and you look at that 8 straight conference losses, you struggle a little bit with that. I'm with Buzz. I would have been very upset about it, but I think that may have been, what they decided was the reason they didn't get in. Now, had Richmond lost to Davidson, they probably would have been in. But
I don't know. I mean, if you watched
fourth.
it, there were 3 teams that were going to get in according to the committee in front of them still.
Yeah, they needed a lot of stuff to happen.
Really?
Yeah, they were the 4th one when CBS listed the first 4 out. A&M was 4th. Yeah.
Okay, I do remember seeing that now. Yeah, they were. So I don't know. I think the 8 straight losses was a killer for them, and I wouldn't have liked it. I wouldn't have liked it at all. But sometimes you're upset with where you're sent. You're upset with the seed that you get, and sometimes you're upset by not getting in. So there's a lot of things to upset you. And I tell you what, too. When you get your mind the way it is, and you come back and you have to play in the NIT, and your guys play hard. Oklahoma played hard last night. I thought A&M did a good job last night. It's a credit to those kids for taking that disappointment and coming out and playing. NIT is not very popular anymore, not as popular as it used to be. But at least those guys and those coaches were able to get their teams to play hard, and that's a credit to them.
The Coach Wimp Sanderson is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Coach joins us each week, courtesy of the Rental Works division of Crane Works. I think you know Kelvin Sampson pretty well, don't you?
I do.
And you obviously know Andy Kennedy very well. What kind of matchup do you see for UAB here?
Very tough.
Oh, yeah. It's tough.
I think Houston is very, very good defensively. I think certainly UAB has the guard that shoots the basketball well. Their inside guy's a little bit injured. Got hurt a little bit in that last game. I think this will be a very difficult game for UAB. I think Houston ties into you, and it won't be the coaching; it's just the players. I think Houston was able to survive after their really good guard got hurt. I think this will be a tough draw for them if they do get by them. They probably got Illinois, and Illinois is very, very good, as you know. So I think it's a pretty tough draw for UAB.
So since you've been out of coaching, do you fill a bracket out every year?
No.
Did you fill one out this year?
No.
You did pick a champion, though, because I saw you the other day and you told me who you think's going to win this event.
Well, if I had somebody ask me to pick 2 today, and I picked Gonzaga and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pick 2, I thought.
But you like Arizona to win, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think Arizona has a great chance to win, although Gonzaga's played awfully well throughout the year, except against Alabama. They didn't do very well defensively. So I would pick one of those 2, but I'm don't go by what I say, because I'm just like y'all. I don't have any idea. I think Duke was seated at a place they shouldn't have been. I don't think they're 2. So Alabama may get to them. If they do, they got a great chance to beat a Duke team that I think is not the real Duke, in my opinion. I don't know whether they gave him a pass because they're going out or what the deal was. I don't know what y'all's opinion on. I don't even know if y'all talked about it. But
well, we've made the point a couple times that they don't, and Lance was the first one to say this, and I agree completely with him. They don't seem to be handling this well. That they're Coach K's final team. That has seemed to be more of a weight on their shoulders than anything.
Yeah, I think it's too much made out of it.
Yeah.
I just think you make too much out of it, and I just do.
Well, Coach K chose that, though. I mean, Coach K has chosen to do a victory lap here, so he's the one that has made the most of it. Yeah,
I would agree. He's wanted to bring those players. Bringing the players back is fine, but I don't use the word carry on, but to go on and on and on after a loss to North Carolina is not the way to go out. And you shorten that a little bit, and whatever you. I don't know what you do there. I just think it was too much, and you may be right. It may have an effect on the players. So I don't know.
Real quick then. So you pick Arizona. And I don't know, you say you don't fill a bracket out. How far does Alabama go, do you feel?
I think they can get to the 16, but they're going to have to play now against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is got two big guys that can really play, and you can't breathe defensively. You can't breathe offensively against them. They'll smother up. They'll smother up 3-point shooters. So I would say, I would say they have a great chance to get to the 16, but that's about it. I don't know really. If I say something, everybody says Wimp says this, Wimp says I don't know anything, but I would say they're gonna have to play to get to the 16. I think they can.
What about Auburn?
Oh, I think Auburn's okay. They're going to beat the winner of Miami,
USC,
Cal, and I don't think Jack State can beat them. So I think they'll move pretty quickly. I think they got a pretty good draw. LSU, down there with them, but they got a new coach, and it's kind of a turmoil there a little bit. I would think. And Arkansas, nobody's mentioned them much. Tennessee, everybody's picking Tennessee a lot that I've talked to on other shows. I think Tennessee is playing great. He's done a good job with them. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think the gentleman sitting to my left likes Tennessee too. If I'm not
do
mistaken.
like Tennessee a lot.
Yeah. Well, they're playing awfully well, and they played awfully well.
Got a lot of guards, coach, and they're playing really good defense.
Yeah, they are. They're playing very good defense. I mean, they got good spacing on offense, and they brought in a big freshman kid that's played well. So Tennessee's going to be. I talked to Rick. Well, actually, I texted with Rick yesterday, and they're going to certainly be a contender. Whether they can win it all or not, I'm not sure. Two big wins for Kentucky this year. Kentucky, the good shooter for Kentucky's not shooting it well, and I thought Cal made a good statement. He said, "I don't expect them to make them all, but I don't expect them to miss them all." And I thought that was one of the I had Jerry Tipton on today on the show, and that was a good point. You don't expect them to miss them all. You don't expect them to make them all, but the kid the shooter that they have is just
Kellen Grady.
Not shooting it. Yeah, Grady's not shooting it very well, and they're going to have to shoot it better to go as far as people think they're going to go. So we'll see what happens.
All right, he is the coach, Wimp Sanderson. He joins us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, courtesy of the Rental Works division of Crane Works, Coach.
Well, I was at Rental Works yesterday, and believe it or not, I was able to name all the machines that were out there.
We'll find out if that's the case or not.
I thought you thought I couldn't do that.
I did.
I named them just bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
Every machine was out there, and they whether you have a in-home project coming up or a corporate construction job, you need to check out Rental Works. They are the absolute best. I was out there yesterday, saw everything in the world they've got. I think there was 7 machines that I tried to decide what they were, and I hit every one of them right on the nose. So
Scott Forrester has video evidence of whether the coach is truthful or not. We'll find that out at some point.
David Upton, now appreciate that, and people that watch this will be very pleased that I know more than and most days don't think I know much anyway, but you'll say, boy, he really knows machines. So that'll be good.
Coach, right. Enjoy the tournament. Love you.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye. That's the coach, Wimp Sanderson, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.